Akron Holy War is real because a blind man can feel it.
It divided families, it divided neighborhoods, it divided the city.
There's families who's been grandfathered in, great-grandfathered in, it's bloodlines.
You know, the phrase Holy War, there was nothing holy about it. If you ask anybody about rivalries, the first thing out of their mouth is Hoban-St.
It's the Michigan-Ohio State game, except on the high school level.
It's kind of like Michigan-Ohio State, but it goes a little bit deeper. It's a little bit more personal.
St. V. Hoban rivalry was really Akron. You know, everyone knew each other.
It's like your buddy from across the street or your neighborhood, you know, you ain't gonna beat my butt tonight, I'm coming after you.
Every single play, remind them what a family hit's like. Let's go whoop some ass, let's go.
It's a rivalry that's bigger than the game. It transcends the entire city.
There's just so much history there. I can remember as a kid in grade school, we're talking about the game. You know, God, when someday I'd love to be a part of that game.
As a football player, you realize that the game itself is bigger than you.
It's not just about the football team and the coaches. It's a community celebration.
It's more than Hoban. It's more than St. V. This is an Akron thing.
For someone who's not part of the rivalry, you'll never understand it. You just can't, because you've never been a part of it.
People live and die by this game because they care so much about their community and they care so much about their school.
You want to be as big as the moment. And it's your chance.
The Holy War kind of started out as a backyard rivalry.
St. Vincent's was the only Catholic school around at that time. Then when you bring in a new school like Hoban, that kind of creates a competition.
I lived in Firestone Park. Half the guys in Firestone Park went to St. V, the other half went to Hoban, and we would relive some of those games on Sunday afternoon off of Wilbeth Road in an empty church lot, playing tackle football with no equipment on, but it always seemed like it was that natural split, St. V against Hoban.
1959 was the first game between Hoban and St. Vincent's.
Hoban didn't want to play us the year before. They weren't ready.
Prior to the fall of '59, Hoban's schedule was the smaller schools in the area that they'd play.
So they wanted to wait another year, and then we played in '59 at the Rubber Bowl. And of course, they beat us.
My first time that I ever saw a Hoban football game was the first Hoban St. V game. St. V was a big favorite in that game. St. Vincent's were the established team. We were the new kids on the block trying to prove ourselves. They kept on saying they were going to kill us, so pretty nerve-wracking getting up to that first game. Opening kickoff, Jerry O'Reilly from Hoban scored on an 80-yard touchdown run, and the upset was on. We scored early, and then we got a 2-point safety. After they scored one, we were ahead most of the game, 16-7. And then in the second half, they come and score, and it's now 16-14, and we just hung on and ended up winning. That started the rivalry. That was a real big day for the school. During the game, I broke up a pass. The ball was in his hand, and I hit him, and I saw a flash of light. The next morning, my buddy and I went downtown because we wanted to get a paper to read about the game. And my buddy runs to get the paper, and I said, open that up, you're gonna see my picture in it. He said, Vanessa, if your picture's in here, I'll eat the paper. So he opens it up, he takes a bite of the paper. That's a picture I still have after 57 years. I would imagine if we did not win that game, we could have been dismissed as no big a deal. St. Vincent's obviously was well known throughout the state, and that was a big deal. Since we won that game, I think it probably had an important part in keeping the series going. I and a lot of the friends that I went to St. Martha's with up in North Hill decided to apply to Hoban, and I don't know if it was just because of that game, but it was a nice feeling. Hoban won the first game in '59, and St. Vincent's won the next two. In the fall of '62, we were underdogs again. It was really fun showing up to school that Friday morning. I had no idea what was going on. The seniors at that time came up with the idea about Mum Day. When we drove in the parking lot, there was a big white sheet in front of the office. It just said Mum on it. We walked in the building and the seniors are standing there telling everybody, keep quiet all day.
You didn't dare open your mouth or else you were dealt with by a football player or even one of the brothers for that matter.
We went out to the bowl that night, and the first play of the game, a guy by the name of Soloff from St. V ran the ball 65 yards for a touchdown. It didn't look good early, but we scored the next 24 and upset them 24-7. You never knew who was going to win that football game, no matter what the record was. You threw the record out.
The rivalry, it was personal because you grew up with all of the guys at Hoban and St. Vincent's through CYO.
Back in those days, kids lived next door to each other. Kids played against each other through CYO, and that was the bulk of what made up both those teams.
I was ticketed to go to St. Vincent's. Got a chance to take a trip through Hoban with my dad. When we got back in the car, looked at me and said, "You're going to Hoban." And it was kind of like, oh wow, I thought I was going to St. V's. No, you're going to Hoban.
If you had that opportunity of going someplace in 5th grade, I probably would have went to Hoban. Just at that time in my life.
I had 3 brothers go to St. V, and it was their choice. In '63, my senior year, my brother Joe was a sophomore for them.
What's unique about our rivalry is that not only is it the same city, but the rivalry happens in the same streets, in the same neighborhoods, sometimes in the same homes. Your parents might have went to Hoban and then their kids go to St. V or vice versa.
We have a young lady who is a sophomore right now. Her entire family has gone to St. V.
I'm a St. Vincent-St. Mary class of '79. My 2 oldest daughters, a brother and 3 sisters, graduated from St. Vincent-St. Mary. I've been a member of the Booster Club myself for over 30 years. I've done the stats for the football team for the past 16 years. Served on the board, the Hall of Fame committee. My dad was president of the Booster Club. My mom was the band booster president. Now, as we kind of have a joking side of the equation, my youngest daughter, Megan, is currently enrolled at Hoban.
My brothers, 2 sisters, my dad, and all his siblings, they all went to St. V.
From talking to coaches and that sort of thing, like it was a really intense struggle.
Because I did not want her to go to Hoban. I was dead set against it.
My uncles and aunts, they all supported me, and same with my brothers and sisters. But then my dad was the one, that was the hard part to get through, was him. But he's all cool. Not all cool with it now, but he's better.
When I was in 8th grade, everyone in my class was all like, yeah, Hoban's so great, Hoban's so great, I love it. And I went there on 7th grade visitation. I hated it. I did not like it at all.
My brother went to St. V and I go to Hoban, and we were 3 years apart.
Why'd you choose Hoban?
It's better.
Oh. Why'd he choose St. V?
Why'd he choose? I'm not sure. I think he likes the color green, I don't know.
The atmosphere is way better than Hoban's. It's like family, very family oriented.
It was kind of like more of a family experience being at St. V.
I have 3 daughters. All my girls went here, and then I have my son's the youngest, so yeah, he went here. You've probably heard this phrase the whole time, it feels like family, and it really does. There's caring people, and there's people that are committed.
Murph and I hit it off right away. We became great friends, and you know, he's got great kids, and one happens to be my wife, and it's great to be able to coach with a guy who you're friends with on top of being family with. The environment here is kind of great because my brother's actually been able to come over and coach the past 2 years. Being a young man growing and now to a father and a husband, a head coach, and this community is a large part of that. And it's just been unbelievable.
Ace, regular, and regular pony. So you get 3 different personnel chains in one formation. Yeah. Can you handle that?
Season 2 starts today. Season 2's 1 game in the whole season. St. V's got the fastest defense in the state. Let's go, get loose.
We got a lot of ass in this shit. Monday, focus practice. Do what you're doing and learn.
Don't look back there. You make a quick read on what is it, it's passed. Do this. Boom here, and sprint your ass off. Now look.
41 set.
Let's go! Crack some pads.
On a blitz steal, we can't blitz the Sam, so it's next to a blast and make it great.
Pick somebody up. Good, Diamante. There. Ah!
Anthony, do we tackle with our shoulder? Do we tackle with our shoulder?
Battle. Good. Good.
Ryan, good depth.
I'm Jessie, I'm a senior, and I'm a cheerleader.
I'm Lauren, I'm also a senior, and I'm a cheerleader too.
We're about to decorate Mark's room for Mom Day. We are decorating Blake Bishop's room, since he's a senior, for Spirit Week.
What I'll miss most is we're all so close as a senior class, and so just experiencing all the things together. We're just such a family at Hoban, and it's just one of the best experiences to go to school there.
I met all of my friends through cheer. It's so fun. I love it. You're like on the field with the football players. You're just like a part of the game, and it's really fun. My family comes in town from California to watch this game, and they always come to this pep rally, and they're just blown away. The pep rally is so much fun.
The best part is the pep rally when everyone screams. That's the best part.
My grandpa actually went to Hoban, and then my mom and her 2 brothers went to Hoban. So it was just kind of like a family legacy. Like I knew all my life that I'd be going to Hoban.
I have a twin brother actually at Hoban too. Actually, there's 8 pets at Hoban right now. We're all cousins, so we take up a wall.
This is an environment that we kind of grew up with, which is cool. It's in your blood, you know?
My father was the head football coach. I still remember going to practices, and Dad would tell the kids, hey, pick up those dummies and bring my kid in too, because I was asleep on the dummies. But I was there.
Some of the athletes over there, Hoban, they had Neidert, Thorman, Chuck Mesco, who went to Penn State. I mean, we knew these guys. I didn't know them personally, but we kind of like idolized them.
You know, 1964 Hoban St. Vincent's game, to show you how important it was, there was a player by the name of Lou Vasilati that played at St. Vincent's. He had so many, what we called at the time, dingers, which they now call concussions, that at the game that night, in order for him to play in that game, they put an ambulance into the stadium, into the rubber bowl underneath the scoreboard, and some doctor devised little packets of water that they put affixed in his helmet to cushion him so he wouldn't get another concussion. Nobody thought anything about keeping him out. He played in the game.
It was probably about the third quarter of the game, and Paul Franjesevic was a tackling machine for us, and he was only a sophomore. And Bernie Kress started running back for St. Vincent's. Rounded the corner, and there was this huge collision, and all of a sudden, St. V guy gets up, and Paul didn't. The young kids looked over at him and went, "Oh my God, I think he's dead." You know, then we saw him move, and it was like, he's not dead. Well, it's funny because when you're a sophomore, you're always trying to get the coach to see you so you can get a chance to get into the game. After that hit, you saw guys starting to duck behind other guys, trying to stay out of the way.
Do you remember coaching against St. V that year in 1964?
Coach Stone, who of course we all know for his legendary run at St. V and the field being named after him. He was part of the Hoban football staff before he became head coach over at St. V.
Yeah, I don't tell many people. I was there about 3 months. You know, it was a good opportunity for me. You know, I was just young and just getting started. I was athletic director and assistant to Tony in football. So after the season, Coach Wentz was going to retire at St. Vincent's. So he had contacted me and wanted to know if I would come over and follow him, which I did. And I'll never forget, he said, "Well, now you and Tony, we're going to see who recruits the best." I don't know why, but the Catholics don't get along.
Week 10 against St. V was the Super Bowl. And our household lived or died by what happened in week 10.
There were other venues, there were other little battles going on, especially up by the water tower on top of the hill. You know, little fights that went on between Hoban and St. V people during the week.
In other words, during the whole week, there was competition between the two schools.
Hoban at the time, back in the 60s, always had a bonfire. Hoban would also get an old car, paint it green and gold, and then it was $1 to take 3 swats at it with a sledgehammer. Mum Day was in full swing. Mum Day did not only occur at Hoban High School, but it also occurred at the Paris House.
Nobody talks, nobody says anything all day long. And when we all filed into the gym, I could still see Tony Paris standing on the stage, and when everybody was seated, he just screamed, "Get that stick."
It was absolutely electrifying.
My dad has been a part of this Mum Day on Friday. My wife has been a part of the Mum Day here at Hoban. Both of my children who have graduated from Hoban, my aunts, my uncles, my own kids, the Hoban family, this Mum Day tradition is huge for us.
What do you guys know about what they do during this week?
All I know that Mum Day, when they just don't talk to the rally or whatever.
Who cares about what they do?
Oh! I mean, I could say our spirit days are better than theirs because Hoban's whack. Everything they do is whack. Their spirit days is whack. It's not good at all.
Mum Day is pretty much Hoban's Christmas. You wait so long for it. It all just like comes together and it's amazing.
The school is completely silent. So none of the teachers talk, none of the students talk in classes or outside of classes. And when we drive into the Hoban parking lot, the seniors who have been there all night decorating the school, they surround your car and they all just kind of go shh. At the end of the day, there's our pep rally. We walk up from the basement and all you hear is like this drum beat. And because you're so used to the quiet from the day, like you feel like the drum beat like in your body. It's crazy.
It's eerie to walk through the halls and for everyone to be silent. Until you really experience that, you can't really appreciate the initial cheer, H on 3.
It just erupts with noise and just how loud it gets.
I
I was so taken aback by just the amount of energy that had gone into it, that had led up to this, and that existed in the gym. I was in tears.
When you're growing up, everybody wanted to play for Notre Dame. You have high expectations. Then when you get into high school, reality begins to set in. So you kind of look at, as you go through your career, particularly your senior year, for many of us, we knew that was it. That was going to be the very last game. And for many of us, it was the last game of our career, period. So it was just all of that built-in energy, all of that personal relationships that you had with all these people. Everything came down to that final year. And then that rolls into the bus pulling into the Rubber Bowl.
The Rubber Bowl was at least 3/4 of the way filled.
There's a lot of people that have no connection with Hoban or St. Vincent went to the ball game because of the rivalry.
And you could hear the noise outside. Beat Hoban, beat St. V's, beat Hoban, beat St. V's. And then when you ran onto that field, you could just feel the electricity. It was incredible.
Just hearing that 100-piece band playing the Hoban fight song, goosebumps, raised up on you.
I can still see Mike Johnson scoring a touchdown, gets called back, and Tony Paris, being the stubborn guy that he was, by George, we're going to run it again. And we ran it again, and Mike scored another touchdown. It was just exciting to be able to say we walked off the field and we beat St. V's.
60s, it seemed like it was going back and forth. We may have had an edge, but not by much. Were they good games? Oh, you betcha.
You throw records out.
My junior year was a major upset of a pretty darn good Hoban team in '68. And then in '69, we definitely had a big victory against them.
In '72, you didn't have all these playoffs. You had to win your division outright, and that was very difficult to do. So after that, you only had 2 games, Final Four, and then you went into the championship. And '72, we won it. Hoban was pretty good that year, too. They were pretty decent. The following year, we were pretty decent, too, and we wound up losing. And I recall it being cold as hell.
Season didn't start in August, it started later in the season, so this was early November time frame.
And it must have been like 6 inches on the field.
Ralph Panessa, who was the head wrestling coach at the time, canceled his practice and the wrestling team came down and shoveled Dowd Field so there could even be a game.
It was played at Dowd Field, and the year before was played at Green Street.
Most of the games were at the Rubber Bowl, but there was a point in time where it became a home and away game.
And that was because of economic reasons. So the games were played at the school fields, which was crazy because neither one of them could hold the crowds that were there.
That '73 might have been the last year we played Hoban at Hoban.
Dad, Tony Paris, coached all the way through the season of '73. Hoban won 14-0 that day, so it was a great memory in regards to the win, but even a better memory because I remember that being my dad's last game.
My senior year in '74, we were AP-UPI state champions that year. Had a good team. We won 14-6, but the records were totally opposite. We were 8-1, they were 1-8. You're gonna play your hardest, but they're playing their hardest.
Those kids knew each other, hung around with each other, and then they played against each other. Some of the kids went to St. V, some went to Hoban. That automatically creates a rivalry, so to speak. You want to be the best between the 2 schools.
Same kind of kids, same kind of school, basically. It's like brother against brother.
One of the things that makes us such rivals and that we clash so much is because we're very similar schools. But sometimes because other people are so similar to us, like we rub against each other. And so we want to be like the superior Catholic school in Akron.
I know some people, they just hate St. V. Just driving by, they will just tense up and it's like, I hate that place.
I'm just so pro Hoban. I'm so anti St. V. And I know they're good people. They're good people, right? How many of you, again, anybody have a best friend still there? Wow, it's a lot.
They're all friends, and the students have a lot of choice with where they can go.
This is a decision you make, and there's really no fence to ride on it. You pick one side and you just go with it.
Both schools are fighting for the same kids just for admissions reasons. In Akron, it's very tight-knit, and it's just one of those rivals that the kids know each other so well going into it.
If you live in Akron, everyone knows somebody who went to school with somebody who ended up working with somebody that went to one of these two schools.
I live in West Akron. Here, your neighbor can be your opponent one day. It's one house, St. Vincent-St. Mary, one house, Hoban, one house, St. Vincent-St. Mary.
Public schools, you're going one city versus another city, one part of town versus another part of town. People talk about Book the Firestone, and I said, no, it's different. You know, people talk about Eds and Ignatius, and I said, I've gone to Eds and Ignatius games years past, it's different. It's just different.
In Cleveland, there's a different Holy War between St. Ed's High School and St. Ignatius High School. When I first moved down to Akron a couple months ago, I soon learned that the Akron Holy War is much, much larger than anything I experienced or watched in Cleveland.
People come from all around the United States to come back for this one game.
It's Hoban St. V, and there's everybody else.
My name's Nick Zeman. I'm with the Great American Rivalry Series. We feature and spotlight some of the top high school football rivalries in the nation. We got teams all across the country. We got teams in Washington State, California. We do over 100 rivalries every single fall, but the Akron Holy War is one of the biggest games we do. So at Hoban today, we'll be conducting our in-school fitness challenge. We have any student that wants to participate conduct as many chin-ups as they can. The school that does the most throughout the week, we present a trophy to that school at the game on Friday night.
And we're gonna do more pull-ups than St. V's. Is St. V stronger than us? Are we stronger than St. V?
Let's go, reset, reload. React! Drive it! Drive! Ah. Brandon, left hash, left hash. Got a talk in the back! Right there. Got a talk in the back! Hey. Blast, black. What are you calling, Brandon? Something inside. Get vertical, get flat. Good, Iron. Empty. What are we playing? Key, 4th and 1! Ah! Come on, Finley! Money time, hurry up. Get in the damn huddle. Let's go play football. Let's go. Get that back. Come on. What are we in? What are we in? Good. 3rd and 10. 3rd and 10. You got 3. Cover 3, Nate. What's your drop? 4 and 3. So what's the screen that could hurt us? Where's the back line up when they're in trip? Let's see how much film you've watched. Good fastball. Good fastball. Keep moving up inside. What don't you understand about using your damn hands? Get it! Let's go, run the ball! Run my champion! Let's go!
In this game, honestly, what a lot of people don't realize is when kids are like teetering where they make the decisions of schools,
and they see us whoop St. V's ass, or St. V whoops our ass, you know where they're gonna start leaning to. I mean, that's how it affects the freshman class. It really does.
I was gonna go to St. V, my first choice.
Like, I didn't know anything about Hoban because like St. V was so hyped up and everything. So when I came here, it was like one of the best decisions like I ever made. Like, no mistakes. It was just a good decision. Like, I'm happy I didn't go there.
I went to St. V my freshman year, and
mistake
wasn't school for me. I came here and I shouted it and I loved it. A lot of people didn't like me because I had that St. V mentality. I mean, at first,
I didn't like him.
I mean,
I didn't like him.
No one liked me except the girls. The girls love me. Hey,
No.
the girls love me.
From the late 60s to the 70s, neither team could win more than 2 games. Then St. V pulled out 4 in a row back in the late 70s.
And getting beat that last year 7-0, that was a big deal.
I still can remember Tom Freeman in the last game. Some people from Hoban say he never made it in on the quarterback sneak, and others from the Irish will say he did, but we lost 7-0. And that's when the rivalry ended for a little while.
It was during my time when we stopped the rivalry.
My senior year, we did not play St. V.
I was a class 1979. My football season was 78. We didn't get to play. Some of my friends who went to Hoban never had a chance to play our senior year. So I would say it's a little personal.
There was some bad blood there, and then at the end, they stopped playing in everything.
It's one thing to stop playing football. We severed all ties in all sports.
And there's debate on why it ended from each side.
You want fact or fiction?
It depends on who you talk to, why it stopped.
All I can do is speak from my perspective. I'll let Hoban somebody speak from their perspective.
We at Hoban always said it was St. V that did it. People at St. V always said it was Hoban that stopped it.
It had absolutely nothing to do with the coaching staff or the kids, all administration.
And one of the reasons that we stopped it, well, it was mutual.
Because the stories I've heard is that the rivalry got too intense and there were fights and things like that.
There was vandalism that occurred. Kids took it upon themselves to do certain things, and that sure was an expense to the school. So that came into play.
I don't know if I should say so, but the kids from the school, a lot of times during that week, would go to the visiting school, put up banners and do some other things that probably weren't right.
You see the Hoban letters on the hill. They were painted green. And I don't know who did it. Have no idea, and my memory has faded.
But then you also hear the other side, and it could be biased.
Hoban turned us in for recruiting, and guess who we recruited? John's son, Johnny Stone.
From the Hoban side, it was in regards to gate money not being split appropriately.
At that time, Green Street was dilapidated and unplayable, so we played all our games at the Rubber Bowl. Couldn't schedule. Here's Dowd Field. Hey, would you mind taking us in? Tried to schedule a game there, and rumor has it, Hoban asked for a deposit. Been playing each other for 20-some years. You would think I think they, were kind of good for it.
Hoban was kind of on the downswing at the time, and they weren't really winning a lot of games. St. Vincent was on the upswing at the time, and they were competing for the state playoffs and things like that.
We had fairly good success at that point, and I'm not even sure what Hoban's record was, but they hurt us point-wise.
Hoban was costing us reasons for why we were not getting into the computer playoffs.
And Walsh Jesuits, there was a new school up in Stowe. We wanted to play Walsh at the last game of the season and move Hoban down into the middle of the year. But they didn't want to do that. That created a problem.
Hoban was going through some financial problems, and their enrollment was dropping, and if I recall, there was even talk of closing the school.
I can remember sitting next to John Stone, who thought the school was going to close. So did everybody else. So just getting student athletes to go out and play was tough. And things looked pretty bleak until a lot of people just donated their time. And God bless them, because I'll tell you what, they'd give up their vacation at their regular job. Guys like Jim Morrison and Bob Piekarski, and Bob went to St. V. Jim went to St. Mary's. Everybody got together in order to get students in the building so we could keep the school going. The kids didn't want to go anywhere else. The faculty didn't want to go anywhere else. It wasn't easy, but we didn't let it die.
Over time, Hoban's team then started coming back. They started rebuilding the program.
You know, I know St. V went to the playoffs like with 91, and Hoban was 9-1 and just missed the playoffs by like a quarter of a point. They used to draw back and forth back in school, but they never got to play each other.
I knew every stat of, like, I played running back. I was all city, so I knew the stats of the guy that played running back at Hoban. I knew how many yards they got every Friday night. When we saw each other at different places, it was like, I'm better than you. And it's like, dude, you never tackled me. So we were always in the back of our mind, we always wanted to play them. We literally would be like, dude, if you get 10 of your guys, I'll get 10 of my guys. We can play this. And as we were going through high school, it was kind of like a fairy tale for me, because by the time we were seniors, we knew we weren't going to play. And like towards the end of our senior year, we were like, what's coming next year?
Having played in the game and having coached it, as soon as I came back, that's the first thing I thought of is, let's get this going again. So I mentioned it to the administration, and they were, kind of lukewarm about it.
And we had had a number of different discussions about, could we do this? Should we do this? What were the concerns on both sides?
They kept on thinking of the possible problems with it, which I can see. So I let it go. The next year I mentioned again in '95, and I was told, well, if you can get it, go ahead and look into it.
There was strong sentiment, certainly among the players and the coaches, that we really would like to be able to do this.
Time heals all wounds.
I think everybody said, it's time.
So I called Johnson-St, and he said, well, you know what? Yeah, we could do that. Unfortunately, we don't have an opening. We had the third game open. We wanted to play the third game. And he said, well, we're playing Canton Central Catholic. So I called the athletic director at Central Catholic, and I asked him if you could let us play St. Vincent's, St. Mary on the third week. He's got an opening later on. And he surprised me by saying, okay. So then I called Johnson-St, and he said, okay, we'll play. We ironed out some things, the administration did.
It was quite a process. We wanted to have a safe environment, and also there were sentiments that it would be good if it were on a neutral site.
They went back to the Rubber Bowl. The game was just too big to be held at a regular field.
And we decided it would go back and forth as a home game if we continued the series after the first year.
It's kind of a big thing. We heard about it my junior year, that we were going to play St. V the following year, and I even remember the date, go Friday the 13th.
I know the Beacon Journal, even a year before the game, was doing articles about it.
For the most part, I don't think most of us realized how big of a game it was.
Everybody's got an older brother or someone that was like, hey man, when St. V Hoban played, it was real, or it was a real battle, or we have scars still from that game, we walked uphill to get to the game. It's like that story.
People were coming from across the country just to see that game because it was so big.
And to see so many different people, people that hadn't come to a high school football game in 20 years.
Walking in and seeing the crowd on both sides, pretty much realized that this was going to be something special.
It was packed.
You're playing in front of 17,000 people. The sun's going down, the lights are on at the Rubber Bowl, and it's showtime.
There was not many times where I've said, man, I want back on the field. But I know that I was jealous, and I don't use that word very often. I was jealous of the kids out there that were playing in that game that day.
A lot of people thought that it was crazy for Hoban to renew the rivalry because of the success St. Vincent's had had previous to that.
The atmosphere was incredible. Now, we got our ass kicked that game.
We pretty much rolled that whole game 124-0.
We went into that game believing that we could start a new era, picking up this rivalry again with a win, which we did.
Well, I played well. I did have an interception in that game.
Go, baby, go! Go!
96 was a learning curve as far as what you're getting yourself into, what kind of a stage you're going to be playing on. You got 48 minutes to get it right, or else you're going to be hearing about it from all your friends and everybody in the community. And there's pressure. You have to win this game. So 97 came around, and it was a no-brainer that we were going to go out and win. There's no doubt about it.
No matter who you hung out with, no matter what groups you were involved in, everyone was there for the same goal that night.
I would drill Tony biting as many times as I could, and I would just laugh. I'd go back to the huddle, and I'd be looking at Tony, and I'd just do it again the next play. And I love Tony. I love his mom and his whole family. We went to grade school together. I knew the majority of these Hoban guys just through CYO, but at this moment there was no friendship or love being given back and forth. I mean, we brought it all night, and we came out on top.
We ended up pulling it off, winning 21-13. I remember the end of the game, just waiting for it to be over so we could just charge everybody and hug everyone. It was just a huge deal for us. These guys were our friends, our boyfriends.
It was our last year.
We were a very close group. It meant a lot to everyone.
It's like our Super Bowl.
Yes, yes, it was.
That game was so great because I carried off the field and they ended up taking this picture and blowing it up, and it sat in the school. And I've got it at my parents' house to this day, and my twin daughters, they'll come over to my parents' house and they'll see that and they'll see me. You know, it's a great, great memory.
Come on.
Nice work. Y'all would be good at it. All you gotta do is hold your head above the bar as long as you can. 10 pull-ups. There was a couple of girls that were doing pull-ups at Hoban yesterday. One girl did like 14 of them.
Stay together, stay together. BAD to walk. Walk work. Nice try, Ben.
I always say 75% of my job is motivation. During the week we play St. V. That part of my job is simple.
Yeah, so if you're the three, because they slant so much, it's just boom, here. Yeah. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come on, turn it up, take it up.
From Atlanta that's coming, like, it's crazy. The whole city, like, everyone's affected. Like, it's not just us cheerleaders that are on the field or the football players that are playing the game.
Dear God, thank you for this practice. Thank you for
when we win, truly everyone in Akron feels it. And then opposite of when we lose. So this game, the Holy War, just has like a lot of power over the whole community.
Pray for us. And all the little leprechauns. Pray for us.
Hoban, cheer the team that you fear. 1, 2, 3, be Hoban!
I did not get to play in the Holy War my senior year. St. V's unsuccessfully expelled me, and going back and watching the St. V's Hoban game, it hurt bad. It hurt really bad, and it definitely pissed me off. Toting, biting, played great. Now, I'll also say this, after I helped beat Hoban in '97, St. V's lost for like 9 years in a row, which was great. I always consider that just the curse of Berkowitz. It was fantastic.
We went out there and we reeled some victories off. I think it was just a preparation for the game.
We're not playing until 7 o'clock at night, and at 9 o'clock in the morning, all the coaches are pulling into the parking lots at different times within 10, 15 minutes of each other. And it's like, didn't you have anything else to do? No, I'm not gonna sit at home. I'd much rather be right here. The mindset was, we're not gonna lose. I just remember Ryan DeGeorge had blown out his knee his senior year, and against the doctor's wishes, he suited up, put a brace on, wrapped it up just to get into the game for a couple of series. And of course, he was lost the rest of the year, but he just wanted to be on that field. And that kind of epitomizes, the attitude that the players took toward this game.
There's so much tradition there that I don't think you can explain it, to be honest. I mean, it's hard to put it into words because you have to go through the experience.
You know, it's going to be jam-packed, going to be sell out. People are going to be scalping tickets.
It's unreal.
You realize that it's a pretty big stage when you're 15 years old.
In the junior year, I was extremely nervous. I played safety, but for the St. V game, our defensive coordinator had a special idea that they would throw me on to corner playing this guy, I think his name's LeBron James or something like that.
We have a kid who took a blue-collar job up in Cleveland a few years ago to play some round ball. He was a very excellent wide receiver himself back in the day at St. V.
He's already known across Northeast Ohio as a monster in every single sport that he plays, so it was a little nerve-wracking going up against him that year. I was really nervous up until I got my first interception of the game. You know, defense, we were just getting so much pressure. Starting him being scared, is he gonna get past me, and then looking up and quarterback sack. So it was, pretty much like that a lot of the game.
We were all too happy to beat him, and St. V.
I think St. Mary has a bullseye, especially after the last 15 years, maybe 20. We're probably one of the top 10 known high schools in the United States of America. Not just Ohio, not North Ohio, but in the country. There's a lot of people who like the gun for St. Vincent-St. Mary, and they probably don't care if it's tiddlywinks. If they can beat St. Vincent-St. Mary, that's a great win for them.
Coming out and scoring my sophomore year was a big high point. Being able to score quickly to a very good receiver, very good NBA player, and ultimately getting rid of the butterflies. Very early on, fired up. Obviously, there was a quick rebuttal to that, so it was a very close game. I don't remember who won that game, but
we took the victory.
My junior year, when we lost to Hoban, the seniors that year, I remember I was good friends with a lot of them. I remember turning to one of my friends and saying, this is terrible for those seniors. They've never experienced a Hoban victory.
And again, those were LeBron James teams. LeBron had a winning record against everybody in basketball and football, but we were 2-0 against him.
Back then, being a Hoban guy, we didn't really care about him too much, Of course, we didn't know what he would become. Looking back, it was cool to play against him. It really was.
And my senior year, we had him on the ropes. They had a great running back, Tyrell Sutton. He kind of got out on us a little bit.
And then ultimately lost as well.
Turn around and a year later, I'm in the same boat, never having experienced a Hoban victory.
I felt like we put even those early years and those early years when they had the Sutton boys that were just great players, He controlled Tony, controlled Tyrell, and all of a sudden, boom, 70-yard touchdown.
In my time playing at St. V, we were defeated.
Never lost to St. V in football.
Hopefully, there's another version of this, and you could talk about the 4 victories he had, not the unfortunate experience that I had.
It's kind of frustrating when you look back because you just kind of leave a bad taste in your mouth. Even if you don't fully understand why you don't like them, you don't like them. It's just one of those things where you have to not like them.
You're going to the hated rival of me.
I had several uncles that graduated from Hoban, played football there too, cousins. My sister went there as well.
They still have an award at St. V's under James Horgan. That's my uncle. All my cousins, all the Horgans went to St. V's.
My grandfather, my parents went there as well. Brothers, sisters, plenty of McDonald's have gone through the St. V tradition.
My dad, my brother, my sisters, and my aunt all went there.
Now I think you have new legacies. You have kids coming from the public schools and that. You're seeing a whole different era between the two schools.
I grew up, and this is where I'm different. I went to an Akron public school.
I went to a public elementary and middle school, and so it wasn't that exact track for my family specifically.
And I think once they get to those schools, they see the spirit and they just see the camaraderie. And I think they see the disciplines of both schools.
I learned more about life in so many different ways at St. V than I did in college or anywhere else.
And I think the spirituality has a lot to do with it, that they see.
It was a very monumental time in our life and really changed who we were on the inside. I know that's where I found my faith.
It stays with them. It's part of it. And then when they leave, they have that same tradition.
That's really where I think I kind of made a decision of how my life would turn out.
It was great for me because I don't come from tradition. It kind of made me wake up hey, I want to start a tradition. I want my kids to have something where they can look at in the future and be like, my dad did this, I want to do that.
They see the tradition and they feel it, and they're part of it. I can't speak for the public schools, but I don't know how many schools you get that in.
I wanted to be one of those guys. I decided to go to St. Vincent-St. Mary because of the championships, because of Coach Johnson-Stone.
Can you talk to us about how it feels to be embraced by the St. Vincent-St. Mary community as well as the Hoban community, who had just as good things to say about you as the St. V side?
Well, it's kind of humbling. It's part I don't like. It's a great honor. But I don't know how you earn it. Well, it means a lot. And like I said, I don't know how you earn all that honor, but I'm grateful for it.
One of the first things that I did when I came back in 2007 was I sat down and talked to every kid that was on the team. And one of the questions that I asked was, what are your goals for next year? And interesting, 99% of the kids had said, beat Hoban.
When we coached at Copley, it was a Copley Revere game. We thought that was huge. And
no discredit to them, but it's not. It's not on the same scale as St. Mary Hoban.
Blew it out of the water.
You know, at Copley, our rival at the time when I was in high school was Revere High School. And I kept telling Coach Borman, it's got to be kind of the same thing. And he goes, no, it's different. It's different. I was like, well, you know, it's the same experience, you know. He goes, it's just different. Trust me, it's just different. The game was on Saturday at Rubber Bowl, and we show up to the game. I'll never forget it. The tailgating line had already started. People had already started trying to get into the stadium. He said, I told you.
And I was absolutely wowed by the crowd that was there.
It was a huge crowd.
There were probably 18, 20,000 people.
The blimp flying.
LeBron was on the side.
LeBron was on the side. It was just, you know, I've been very lucky in my career coaching in big games, but this one was pretty big. And I remember our first half, we didn't play very well.
That game especially was a disaster when we were as a staff together in 2007.
Our kids were so tight.
We were down at halftime, 22-7. Having to be in the press box at the time, walking past Hoban, people just letting me have it, telling us this is year, you know, this is gonna happen again, this is over, and all the other time. And you just felt the anxiety from the team saying, like, here we go again.
I said, guys, relax, it's just another game. Play like you're capable of playing. And we came out and played very well that second half.
They made some big plays. Driving at the end of the game. The previous games, if we were down like that, we found a way to win, and St. Vincent was able to find a way to stop us that time.
We deflect the pass on the last play of the game, we win. And I'm walking out of the press box, and I see people crying on the Hoban side. And same people that were like ripping me and jawing me as I'm coming out of the stands are in tears, saying, I can't believe this happened. I told Coach Mormon that, and he goes, I told you, this is just a whole different thing. And after that game, I understood the magnitude of how, not being part of the community prior to that, how people in the community, how serious they take it.
After Hoban had knocked off about 9 wins in a row, that was our first win back.
And that was the beginning of our string against Hoban.
We wanted to start something there, and we did. Growing up, I was one in a long line of people from my family to go to St. Vincent-St. Mary. To be able to have my first game as a varsity player be against Hoban, it was something else.
Last year at the Rubber Bowl, 12-0 lead, and we turned the ball over 3 times in the fourth quarter.
And Durant Grant had a fumble return for a touchdown and an interception for a touchdown that ended up helping us win the game.
We're in up losing 20-12, and we dominated that game for 3.5 quarters. But it's a 4-quarter game.
I didn't want to just have a 1 or 2 off. I wanted to just beat them every single year.
Then we get into some of the games that we're losing, and in those games were heartbreaking losses for us.
It was my senior year, and you know, we've already beaten Hoban 3 times in a row now, but I remember the week leading up to that, I was telling them, I said, guys, I want to shut them out. I want to show them who's the superior team. And I want it to be boring for everyone except for us. It ended up being that way. It wasn't just expected that you would go out and play football, but you'd go out there and you'd kick ass. And to do that for St. Vincent-St. Mary, where there's such a rich football tradition and such a rich history there, really was kind of like playing in the big leagues to an extent, you know?
Everybody is invested in high school football for this week.
It doesn't matter if you are a senior, or freshman, sophomore, junior.
Whether or not you're a football player, whether or not you're in the band or a cheerleader.
This 1 week a year brings everybody together.
It's the only week of the year that's got its own name of it, so it's kind of cool.
During what we call Hoban Week, or now we call it Beat Hoban Week, not to give a week in honor to Hoban, but to give a week in honor to beating them.
Do we know anything about their preparation this week? What traditions, what they're wearing?
Monday is America Monday, so everyone's patriotic wear.
Yesterday was USA Day.
Yesterday was USA Day?
Tuesday is Travolta Tuesday, like dress like Grease and John Travolta. They just pick random things, but it's super fun.
Wednesday's Wildebeest Wednesday. I can't remember Thursday. Wildebeest Wednesday? Yeah. Does anybody know why St. V's calls it Wildebeest Wednesday?
I think it was the first year in 2007. We beat them.
The student section, the students jump over the barriers and storm the field.
A Hoban student wrote an article in the student newspaper about calling us wildebeest. Thereafter, every year we had Wildebeest Wednesday during Hoban Week.
They, again, just took it and owned it. They said, this is great.
Kids are dressing up in gorilla suits.
And they dress up like wild animals. And just, you know, any insult that people try and put towards us, we just own it and we won't let anything bother us.
Why? That doesn't make any sense. Why would they try to make fun of us when we were trying to make fun of, like, that doesn't make sense.
Because it's a rivalry, that's the fun of it all.
It isn't any other normal week. We as coaches don't even try to pretend like it is.
With every day, the energy has gone up with the kids.
Today you could just feel it just got turned up a notch. You know, it went from 8 to 9 until this thing happens on Friday, which I can't even quite explain or believe because I don't know how 855 students are silent for a day.
Yeah, we have a student council meeting. This is the most important meeting, I think, probably of the year because we have Mom Day.
We have each area separated and we designate you guys as the captains of that area.
Okay, so then seniors on spirit and then activities. You don't know this.
Yes, I do.
You're staying after school with me, so we're not gonna go home. We're just gonna stay here. We'll get some food and then we'll start setting up for lock-in. And then all seniors, you're bringing in drinks, pop, water.
Mom Day will be the most important day of your 4-year life at Hoban when you are a senior. So seniors have been waiting for this day for 4 years. So you need to be quiet. Just respect their tradition. Respect their quiet.
All right, thank you very much.
Year one was rough.
It was like 45-7, but I think it was 10-7 at half.
Hoban played us really well, and we were way better than they were that year.
Our kids played their butt off, but they were, I think, ranked #1 in the state. And everybody coming back from a state championship, so they were trying to go back to back.
I will just leave it at this. At the end of the day,
6 rings. If we want to count the APUPI, I like to. So that's another one, that's 7. Won the state titles in 72, APUPI 74.
81, we won the state. 82, we won it.
88.
And then 2012 and 2013.
Second year was a great game. It was more of a toss-up, and there was no disputed favorite or underdog.
We haven't beaten them in, I think, 7 years heading into that game, and we were winning 21-10 at half. They're inching back.
Played 48 minutes, and then we go into overtime, and we played 3 overtimes.
They had this heavy package, and they're on the 1 yard line, and they just went boom. We just fell to our knees.
I remember like it was yesterday.
And their sideline just rushes the field, and I said, man, like, it's over.
Triple overtime, and it was probably the most depressing day of my life.
No, that I will 100% say that was the most depressing day of my life as right now.
If you go to that game, whether you want to or not, you have to pick a side. We've had lifelong customers here that when I first started working here, I didn't even know like they were St. V or Hoban people. But once that week rolls around, all of a sudden everybody comes out of the woodwork with their stories. Me, obviously being from Hoban, I have to bite my tongue sometimes. That week I just kind of smile and just nod and just have a good day. It's definitely exciting to be here and to see everybody with their families. It's just kind of like a revolving door of both schools. So.
But to see all these people come together in this great little city of Akron, Ohio, it's just a great thing to be a part of, and we're very blessed to have these 2 schools in our community and to have this rivalry. Akron is very blessed with Hoban and St. V. They're all good people.
My family all went here. My mom went here, my dad went here. My dad has 9 siblings, and they all went here as well.
This isn't what it usually looks like?
No, it usually smells too.
It still smells.
We made goodie bags for all the football players, and they just have like a bunch of goodies in them and like candy and stuff to cheer them on for the game.
Now some of my cousins, though, the uncles and aunts are going to Hoban, so it's some family drama. This year's theme is like arcade theme, and so like this floor is the Mario Kart hallway.
Our school being Archbishop Hoban Knights, we really want to have like feel in the gym to like the Knights in the past. That's fine. That's what we got.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stop what you're doing. I ask that you now please go out to your cars, bring in all of your stuff for sleeping.
senior year, I mean, the only thing that was on our minds was we need to beat St. V, and we had it circled on our calendar.
It was probably the most nervous day of my life.
Yeah, I remember I woke up in the morning and was so nervous I threw up.
They scored on the first play of the game. They won 70 yards on a little slant route.
It was a busted coverage. They go up 7-0, and their sideline's kind of weak. Like, whoa, what just happened?
And then after that, we just controlled the game.
We came back and ended up scoring 24 unanswered points.
24-7 was the final.
The first person I found was Dane. There's a picture of us. I'm jumping up on his head and he's holding me up.
A lot of people in the student section, we didn't know what to do because we hadn't beaten St. V in 8 years. I still get goosebumps sometimes thinking about it.
We found out about week 10 that if everything went according to plan, that we would see them again in the regional championship game.
Just the magnitude of being in the regional finals is tough enough on a high school team, and then you're playing your rival again. And really, it just came down to, in that game, is who had the ball last. And we had the opportunity to run the clock out. We had enough firepower at the end to just not get the ball back.
All the seniors from St. V came up and congratulated us on winning, and I respected all of them for coming to do that. It took a lot of guts and a lot of heart.
They stayed out there for our trophy presentation, so it was an awesome thing to watch. At the end, it almost brought you to tears on how well they respect each other.
They said, good luck to go win a state championship.
As a high school kid, I realized I wanted to cover sports, and I wanted to cover sports in Northeast Ohio.
Wow, that's a pretty good chest bump right there.
Yes, it was. And maybe the hardest assignment I've had in my job was when Hoban was in the state championship game, and the assignment was given to me. And I gotta tell you, it was nerve-wracking because I'm still a 16-year-old in my heart. I was proud of him, but I didn't want him to win. While I'm on the sideline, I had coaches that will remain nameless from St. Vincent-St. Mary saying, stop this game however you can. Run on the field, do not let them be state champions. And they went on and won the state championship, and the football players were great, the kids were great. It's a moment that I will never forget.
Congratulations.
Coach, what does it mean to have the first state championship for the Hoban Knights?
You know what, right now I'm just speechless. It just means so much. It means so much to this community. It means so much to the school.
Danny, what does it feel like to be a state champion?
It means the world to us. This has been our dream since we were 6 years old.
The relationships afterwards are probably much more important.
Now that I am a police officer, it's kind of funny how many Hoban grads and St. V grads actually work for the police department in Akron, and you still have a little rivalry back and forth between those people, but it also brings a lot of camaraderie too.
Being able to coach with your dad and your brothers is something that a lot of people wish for, and it's been one of the greatest coaching experiences. It'll be something that I always cherish.
Parental abuse.
You'd think it'd be him yelling at us.
Oh, not even close.
And he'd be getting honest about something. We'd say, we don't need this, we're going to Hoban.
Realistically though, as a coach, you give up a lot of family time. There's a lot of things that I didn't do with my sons because I'm coaching somebody else's sons. Having coached, my last year was 42 years, it was really a privilege to be able to work with them those last 7 years together.
You love the school, you love the people, most of all, you love the kids. When you see these guys, it makes you feel really damn old. But when their kids come back, and these guys are parents, and that's what makes this whole thing kind of unique.
The one thing that gives me the most satisfaction of all is to have former players come up with their own kids and introduce me and say, that was my coach. And that's special.
Hoban has always been in my life. Since the day I was born, it was basically destined that I was going here. I've always dreamed of playing Hoban football, to just put the gold helmet on and put the jersey on and play in these big games. It's bigger than football. This game is a lot bigger than us.
Let us pray. Dear Lord, be with us tonight. Keep us focused and alert. Help us to remember our assignments and plays. Help us to use the gifts and talents that you have given us. Keep us free from injury. Help us to make good decisions. Our Father,
who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
This is like the epicenter.
You've got everybody dressed up, everybody in the different colors, and they're intermingling, as they go along.
Right.
And it's just having a good time.
I'm going St. V 28-20. I got 14-7 St. V.
Hoban's going to win by 3 touchdowns.
This is a neighborhood rivalry. This is truly a neighborhood get-together where everybody knows each other.
We are cousins.
We can tailgate together. Yeah, we can tailgate, but once we go through the gates, we go our separate ways.
Precision Stadium and Suma Field on the campus of the University of Akron. It's the renewal of the Holy War as St. Vincent-St. Mary takes on Archbishop Hoban High School.
Let's go, bring it in. Bring it in tight. Let's go. Bring it in tight. One quick message for you. One quick message. This game is big enough that you don't need a pregame speech to get excited for.
I believe in you guys. These coaches believe in you guys. Stand up, everybody.
The game of football is played with respect. You're gonna know that the rest of your life.
Right now, we start making our own luck.
No matter what you do, you could be coaching your little boys. Always teach them the game of football is played with respect.
For the next 48 minutes, the only guys that matter are the guys in the black jerseys. This is your damn family.
Now, every single play. Remind them what a family hits like. Let's go whoop some ass. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the Knights of Archbishop Hoban and St.
Who can make a play? 48 minutes. Let's go.
Good evening, everybody. Glad you could join us. Obviously, the focal point of high school football whenever these two teams play.
It's become such a rivalry, and gosh, they've got a wonderful crowd already. I mean, it's just an event. It's a college atmosphere, so certainly there's a lot of emotion attached to this football game.
Hoban won the toss, deferred to the second half, so the Green Curse will kick it away. Justin Sampson gets the ball on the big hop, tries to take it wide left, but he is covered up.
Hey, it's all about speed, gentlemen. It's all about speed.
Dante Taylor at quarterback for the Irish will give to Williams, and on the play fake, Taylor takes it around the right end, and he picks up good yardage.
Hey, Ryan! Move back!
Taylor in the shotgun will throw, and he's got a man on the slant. And with some nice yards out of the bunch,
Let's go, let's get loud! Let's go!
Taylor on the play fake. Pocket collapses. He's on the run, and he's going to be caught from behind and sacked. Clark in the shotgun. Clark's going to throw. Looking, firing, and it is incomplete. As we are coming to the end of the first quarter, we are scoreless. St. Vincent-St. Mary and Hoban.
Guys, one play at a time. You need to line up the safety to number 12 and 15 if they're in spread.
That's it, Donnie Swain! That's it, baby!
Great job, let's go. Great job, let's go defense, let's go!
He takes the snap that time out of shotgun formation.
Caleb's blocking nobody.
They're not yielding any positive yardage on the run. They run it to Williams, and he's covered up immediately.
26 Dave. Left, 26 Dave.
Todd Sibley's got some running room. And he takes it down to the Irish 1-yard line, first and goal. Empty backfield. Clark gonna run with it. He takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Hogan.
7:08 to go here. St. V's got to get something going.
Taylor, play action. Now rolls right. In trouble. Fires, and it is picked off. Intercepted. It was John Basilli, the outside linebacker.
Trip H. Go Tebow show. Go Tebow show.
Go with the motion.
4, press. Who's on? Who's on?
Second and goal. Clark fires across the middle, and he's got Hauser for the touchdown.
How'd he get beat inside? Good job, good job. Great ball, great ball.
The first half is over. 21-0. Hoban leads St. Vincent-St. Mary.
You know, all the seniors that graduated last year, we regretted too much about this game. Don't make the same mistakes my class did in this game. Because there's nothing worse than being in college with a new team and thinking back, oh, damn.
Hey, eyes here. A true champion never, ever stops playing. Ever. There's not a play that a true champion ever takes off when you're playing your rival.
Three plays. That's the difference right now. 3 plays. It's got to take some passion and some competitive fire to get back in the game.
We're the heavyweight boxer. They are on the ropes.
We got to turn it up now.
Knock them in the mouth. Let them know who the true team in Summer County is.
1, 2, 3,
Right.
4, 5, 6.
Family.
It's 21-0 now, but I would not even be surprised if St. V would get right back in this game.
No missed opportunities this time. Last black. Right wide. 27 Rocket.
Low snap. Clark fires, and it is intercepted on the far sideline by St. Vincent-St. Mary.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Everybody touchdown! Everybody touchdown!
It's the 13 in the shotgun formation. Taylor to throw, and it is intercepted. Deflected off the receiver's hand.
The Akron Holy War is the rest of the year. When the whistle blows, you know the rest of the year you have bragging rights.
Clark's going to keep it on first down. Has room across the 40, to the 45, and dropped.
Knowing you're going to have to run into these people for the next 364 days as a victor or a loser, and it's one of those things where it's just a chip on your shoulder you just hold and you just try to push it and go through it.
Good snap, ball down. The Hirsch kick is in the air, and Kirsch is good.
You know, there's going to be years where one school's going to be more up than the other. You got us this year, but we're coming back and getting you the next year.
There's always next year, and that's what's great about it.
And that'll do it as another incomplete pass.
Whether you grew up with the rivalry or it's brand new to you, it's something that you'll take forward, no matter what.
Congratulations, Coach. Good luck to you the rest of the season. Okay, thank you.
It brings out the best in people. It shows you can be buddies, but yet rivals.
It's intense, it's exciting, and it's football at its finest.
The Akron Holy War comes down to two very, very important things, and it's passion and it's family.
The Akron Holy War is 48 minutes that last a lifetime.